morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on the part of the world you are watching from. Today I'll be discussing on schistosomiasis, which is caused by a plastic flatworm which enter into your skin from an infected body of water. Let me explain more further, especially those that live in the riverine areas. Like when you talk of Nigeria, example Nigeria, mostly you found them in places like Kano, part of Kaduna, Kogi, and so many states. This schistosomiasis have different names. You can call it bilharzia, the snail fever. The Hausas call it pisaringini. That's when you urinate blood, which is not really good. And these diseases are mostly found in places like the African, the Sub-Sahara African, the Southern African, the Nile River Valley in Egypt and Sudan, the Brazil, the South Africa, the South America and the south part of China, the Southeast Asia, the Philippines, and others. Especially those that goes to farm, especially children. Yes, children that goes to farm. When somebody have this disease and enters into the water, when you go to farm, all those rivers around the farms, you find out that children enter into those waters to swim. Sometimes some are swimming. In that same water, people are drinking that water. In that same water, people are washing. From the other side of the river, you see people are washing. Some children are inside that water, they pass urine. And when they pass that urine, they are releasing eggs. They have eggs of that schistosomiasis that goes into the waters. And before you know, children and adults will be infected with that diseases. Some live with it for so many years. The joy part of it, there's no vaccine, but there's drugs for it. And the drugs is called paracetamol. Please, I will advise, check your children at this time. Advise people, advise adults. Sometimes adults, you see adults, I'm not saying when I say adults, grown-up people, very grown-up. You see water, a very dirty water, we move into that water. To play into that water, we bath into that water, not knowing what we are carrying, not knowing what is entering into our skin. My advice for people is that we should be careful during this period of farming, when people go to farm with their children, when adults go to farm, only them. Don't just see any water and just enter into that water. The symptoms of this schistosomiasis can be pain in the stomach, enlargement of liver, blood in the urine when a child and adults also can pass. It affects women. Yes, it affects women. And adults passing urine, instead of urine, you see blood. An adult passing urine of blood. Pain when you are urinating. And sometimes it can cause, that's why I say it also affects women. Sometimes miscarriage set in. Please, let's be careful. Let's educate our children on how to take care of themselves. Not even the rainy season. We have children. I remember we did that when we were growing up. A child can just move out of the house, go to the water, swim in the water, without the parents even knowing, and coming back to the house, and a child will never tell you. At this time, please, let's all educate. We are parents. Let's educate our children. That's the safety rules. Let's educate our children on how to take care of themselves. Tell them the implication of these diseases. People don't know about it. There are so many interventions out there. There are so many NGOs that are going to communities, different villages, and distributing these drugs, this paracetamol. When they started this intervention, people were rejecting it. People were rejecting the drugs, rejecting paracetamol. I've worked from 2015. I've gone round. I can't count the number of communities I've gone round to see what was happening and how these drugs were distributed, and testimonies of people. People would tell you, yes, we have this issue. Our children, they were urinating blood. But after this intervention, our children have stopped urinating blood. But they have other people that don't even know about it. It's not just the communities, even right inside our own states. In the urban areas, they have them. They have them. Please, let's try and educate our children. We need to educate our children because they are the future generation. And they are the future, they are the future leaders that we know. Please, when you know your child have these diseases, please look for help. Go for a test. The NGOs, these drugs are free. They are free. They are giving it free of charge. Free of charge. Places like the World Health, I don't know if they are, I know Site Savers are distributing paracetamol. They are working hard to eradicate schistosomiasis. They are working hard to eradicate schistosomiasis. Please, the Africans, let's join hands. The people in the Nile River Valley of Egypt, the South Sudan, the Brazilians, the South Americans, let's try and kick schistosomiasis out of our own country so that life will be saved. Sometimes you see as if this schistosomiasis is not deadly. Sometimes it kills. It can cause cancer. Schistosomiasis can cause cancer. Please, let's try. Let's join hands. Let's join hands. Because the NGOs on their own cannot just do this. But from the grassroots, parents, educate your children. Don't enter rivers. Don't just see any river and just step in. There are flatworms also that enters into our legs. Safety. Wear your boots. Make sure we're going to farm. Make sure you are with your boots. I know sometimes we complain, boots are expensive, this, that. But please, let's try. Let's try to help ourselves and to keep ourselves from different kinds of diseases. Thank you very much. Try and subscribe because tomorrow I'll be talking on a title, Elephantiasis. And you know elephantiasis, people believe that elephantiasis is spiritual and it's not. So I will educate people again on a disease called elephantiasis. Elephantiasis cannot be treated. If you have it, when it's early, but when it's late, it's just case management. I'll also educate people on elephantiasis. Thank you. Spread love. Spread love. That's what I'm trying to do today. Spread love. Take love out there. Tell people more about schistosomiasis. We should stop drinking waters from the river. We should stop entering the rivers to swim. We should stop going to the rivers to wash clothes because you don't even know who is carrying this disease. You don't even know who is carrying this whatever. You don't even know who is carrying this disease. Sorry, I said whatever. I'm hot because I've seen children that are suffering from these diseases. Parents have spent money, going to the hospital to spend money, and nothing was done. Till intervention came in, paracetamol was distributed, and their children were healed. So instead of you to start spending money, instead of spending money on your children's school fees or buying food, please, let's preach to your children. I will say preach. Educate your children. Thank you very much.